Hi guys, El Mary, meet everybody. It's Miss Jean-Marie Delaney. I'm going to try to put something new in my walker which should help protect the bags from getting the handles ripped off. I did here is we got some S-hooks. Thus, as you can see, the straps are not being yanked as hard, and it's more or less keeps the bag square. So the only thing is that these hooks are kind of expensive because they're so large. But I also want to clamp these things closed. Well, I'm sorry, I don't have a blowtorch to heat these up real hot to get them banging smaller, so just have to leave them like this. But the good news is that you could hang other things on here too. For example, let's say you were doing laundry. You want to hang some of your laundry in there, like your dry cleaning or something. They have it on hookers and hangers. This can hang it too. As well as maybe if you need to hang something on the outside of the thing like saddlebags. That sounds kind of stupid, but I guess it could be a thing. So, let's try to cover other things. So I went to the doctor's today. My weight is normal for me. 276. I know. Some of you might say, that means you're heavier than noodles. Yeah. But I'm also taller than noodles. Just keep that in mind, okay? Heather says, yeah, your height looks like 5'9". Yeah, it does not look like 5'8". It looks like 5'9". But is that with or without the shoes? Because you didn't take the shoes off when you were on the scale. And you wear some pretty thick footwear. So, I'm just going to have a meatball grinder for lunch. Figured that it'd be better than nothing. Just have a meatball grinder. So, let me suggest, wondered about another type of hook, which I don't have here, which was a closed ring. They had you would tighten up with a nut to. It's like an O-ring with a nut that you tighten to something like a carabiner. And I said, you kidding me? You want to put a carabiner in my walker? The kind you tighten with a wrench? That would make no sense at all. None. Zip. So, forget it. No, that ain't gonna happen. So, I'm going to ask you for some more ice. I love crunching ice cubes. Say ice cubes for some ice. Finish guys back over my lunch. So got the grinder coming. Can you give me some more ice too, please?
Yeah, of course.
All right, thank you very much. So this is the grinder. Okay. This is a full size grinder, and I don't usually eat grinders here. I mean, I didn't want pizza. I just said to myself, no, I don't want pizza. I just said, I don't want pizza. I just wanted something a little bit lighter. All right, thank you very much.
It fills it up, so be careful.
Let's put some more ice cubes in this one. Let me see if this thing might be a little bit hot. Yes. No. Yeah, it's starting to cool down a bit here. So anyway, the thing is the reason we chose to go the S-hooks is because I figured that between the S-hooks you can have, like I said, the bag in the center against the handles will still hold it steady. Then once just the handles the bag. Okay? As I showed you a little while ago. So again, excuse me, mistake. So you can see how the handles here are not as stressed like they used to be when you had it hanging over the edge. Then you would be pulling on these bags and using a lot of torsion force. Then it causes damage. You can see here when the bag is just ripping apart like that. That's kind of bad when you do that because that puts a lot of strain on the stitch work. And that's not good for the bag, and it's not good for the walker either, because you're also putting a lot of undue pressure where you don't want it. So let's see if I can get this out without making a mess of everything. So you're probably wondering how it's been now with my teeth. My teeth are doing fine actually. I used antibacterial mouthwash, Listerine every day. Sometimes 3 to 4 times a day. So that's something. Now, did we talk about case management? We did. We also talked a little bit about the fact I'm getting therapy from BetterHelp. Guys, mental health is a big deal. And it's just as important. And if you can't get it locally, then it's better to get it from somewhere. Let me explain this to you. BetterHelp uses licensed therapists to help you deal with issues, okay? And there's, at least in Connecticut, anyway, once I'm working with a state license. We serve in Connecticut. So, you can see them any way you want. You can make a phone call. You can have an online face-to-face like I do. You don't have to go into an office. You can contact your caseworker whenever something comes up. And for 99% of people, that's absolutely all you need. Let's be honest. This winter is going to be hard. And I don't care what you tell you. I know from personal experience. I'm a North American snow queen. Duh. Okay? This winter in the Northeast is going to be very snowy, icy, chilly. You really want to go driving out to a therapist's office in the middle of a snowstorm? I don't think so. Well, really, that's a liability. Okay? So, here's the good thing. You go to BetterHelp, you can get a therapy session that is really affordable. $45 a visit. Cleaning is available if eligible. Yes, I am. At $45 a visit versus $200 for in-person visit is a major deal, considering the fact that they get 4 online for the price of 1 online to sit in somebody's office. And then it goes down with the parking costs. If you're driving. Now, if you're not, you have to arrange transportation. Okay? So, I would say check out BetterHelp. You can't do any worse. If you really need to talk to somebody, and everybody tells you that there's no room in the caseload for you, go to BetterHelp.com and check it out. Okay? I'm a client. This is not sponsored by them. I'm just suggesting it. If you need help, it's out there. I do agree that therapy should be considered as important as its regular routine medical visits. Let's be honest. In this day and age, and all the crazy stuff that's going on, that's a big deal. Okay? And you want to be healthy and happy. So, as I said, go to the website, check it out now. BetterHelp.com. No, as I said, I'm not a sponsor. They're not sponsoring me. Although, it would have been nice if they did. I do know that some people are getting sponsorships with them. I feel made a big difference in my life in a positive way. Helping me to deal with some of the anxieties and frustrations I face every day and feeling a little bit of confidence. I mean, true, it's if your insurance isn't covered by them, it is kind of hard. But on the other hand, even if your insurance was covered, depending on the insurance plan, you gotta pay the deductible anyway. So, in that case, BetterHelp may still be cheaper. Now, tonight we have the portrait stream. I did do a portrait one earlier. I decided I'm not going to upload it because I thought it was kind of stupid. I really don't want to do portraits. I hate portraits. I hate them so much.
You have no idea.
Because on the phone, you guys can turn the phone 90 degrees and then people can see the whole picture. You can't do that on a television set. You can in some, but if they're mounted on the wall or something. Well, most people don't think about doing that. And even if you did, wouldn't that be annoying to have to rotate it another 90 degrees to bring it back for shapes on landscape? That does suck too. So I'm really excited about this new feature YouTube's going to be introducing, where you can stream both a portrait and landscape at the same time, so that your viewers get the best of both worlds on a live stream. Which means that OBS, I would still be streaming in landscape, but then they would crop the picture out to make it fit into portrait. Here's the catch. I have to modify my setup a little bit so that my camera screen is more in center because it's on the edge. So, which is not a problem. I could do that easy enough. There's a couple of different ways to do it. Number one, move my camera overlay on the screen. Quick and easiest way. And that way you can still see me and you'll still be able to see. But then shrink the chat so it's in the third, so that people in portrait can still see the chat, when the people in the landscape, I'm sorry, the landscape would still see the chat, but the portrait wouldn't have to. So as soon as that's implemented, I'll start making adjustments. Actually, I can start making adjustments ahead of time. When I go home today, I'm going to be practicing my violin. So before the show, I figured we should try to eat out. Because I figured got a nice meal. So the point is, relatively speaking, I'm pretty healthy. I'm not doing too bad, which makes me happy. And I know that I'm still got it together after all these years. But there are some things that does concern me. Number one, I have these weird dreams about my eyesight. And they don't make any sense. I woke up at 10:30 from falling asleep, and I said to Jesus, Jesus, what the heck in his name is the meaning of these dreams? He said, I'm not sure. You're God. You should know. So, I'm not that good at everything. Obviously, you're afraid you're going to lose your eyesight. Oh, I got a cataract in my right eye. I'm afraid that something's going to go wrong with my left eye. So, am I wrong to be concerned? I don't think so. I don't think I'm wrong. I really don't. I mean, how much can you do in life? If you lose your eyesight, especially in this world, you are totally screwed. Even more so if you lose your hearing. They're both important. I mean, computers have graphical user interfaces. They don't really have audiological user interfaces. Think about what that would be like. You have an audiological interface. Let's say you're blind, right? Oh, I know how that would work. You're talking about something like VoiceOver from Apple. Between time and I got Printer Soul's no soap on printer. I mean, there's so many different things you can do with the printer. I never did talk about that. Why do I use a dot matrix printer? Because it's cheap. I already had it laying around doing nothing. Compared to getting a laser printer. Everything nowadays has got digital rights management in it nowadays. And since almost everything I print is ASCII anyway, there's no reason to need to go for a fancy printer. I mean, 22 pages a minute is great, except the only thing that's with 22 pages a minute is how many times have I seen my sheet feeder jam up? Too many. Now, 22 pages a minute on a tractor feed paper is nothing. There are dot matrix printers, what they call line printers. They use a chain, and they print at something like anywhere from 300 lines per minute. I mean, those things are speedy. 240, 300 lines a minute. Holy smokes. I mean, let's translate that into pages. There's 66 lines to a page. So I mean, spacing set to 1/6 instead of 1/8. Okay, so let's say 4.5 pages a minute. And these big, large commercial line printers use mainframes. They just spit up pages fast. And someone says, yeah, but dot matrix is slow. Yeah, but cheap. Remember that, guys. Dot matrix printers are cheap. Let's say, for example, all you do is print a few pages every so few months. Talk about the annoyance of the inkjet. You print out 70 pages a few months, okay? Maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 pages. All of a sudden, your inkjet's clogged up because you didn't print with it. Then you do the flush cycle. Where does the ink go that's being sprayed out? Well, depending on the inkjet, it's going into one of two places. A waste tank reservoir, which is common on Epsons, or a sponge. Either way, it's waste ink. It's not ink you're going to be able to reuse. Okay? It would be nice if it would say, okay, so Michelle has purged out her printer. Now let's go pump it back into the cartridges again. Then we can use it instead of wasting the ink. But they won't do that. One reason is practicality, and the other one is they don't want it. I'll talk about the guys with practicality. If you're going to pump the ink back into the cartridges, one, that makes sure the ink is not mixing. So it's a multicolor printer. So the magenta stays with the magenta, cyan stays with cyan, yellow stays with yellow, black goes with black. That's going to make the printer very expensive because you got to separate the ink. Oh, that. What about the stuff that clogged the inkjet in the first place? Yeah, ink. What's going to happen with that ink? Well, you're feeding it into the cartridges. So now your printer is going to be using ink all over again. Like I said, and if the ink has got clogs in it already, think of it like clots. Because in a way, that's what it is. A clog and a blood clot are kind of similar in this case. They're just still clogging up the holes. And now you're going to feed that ink back into the cartridge again. And unless you're filtering the ink before it goes back into the cartridge, you're going to be putting the clogs back into the cartridge too. And what you're going to give your ink cartridge a stroke. Pretty much. Because you're putting junk back into the cartridge. It's not a good solution at all. No. Definitely not. So, do I think these hooks are going to help solve the problems with the walker? I'll say yes and no. Here's why I say yes or no. As far as preventing undue stress on the bags, absolutely. As far as making the walker easier to put away, not necessarily. This, now you got the hooks to deal with. So when you slap the cover shut, these hooks are gonna, when you take the bag off, they're gonna flop to either side, which means that it could cause problems for closing the walker. Well, it also gives an advantage because I can hang other things on this bag, on these hooks too. So let's say, for the heck of it, let's say I wanted to have 2 more side saddlebags on the outside. No problem. Just hang them on the hooks. It'll protect the bag, it'll protect the walker from damage. Sounds good to me.
This is your check, but take your
So,
time.
okay. Let me give you my receipt, my bill, so you can pay for it.
Okay, of course.
All right. Well, I'm at. All right.
Oh, your phone just fell over.
Okay. And let me give you some cash for a tip too. Let's see. That's your tip, and that's
Thank
the.
you. Yep, I'll bring it right back over.
All right. Thank you.
Welcome.
So. Sorry about that. Oh. So that's what I would do. Not too bad overall. So the video I did on the couch with the violin did pretty well. I had a lot of views on that one.
There you go, Michelle.
Okay, great. So
The top copy is.
Can I sign
us. Yeah, you just have to sign it. The line is right here.
all right.
Right
So
there. Yeah, just sign it.
okay. Chris signed well in my finger, so
It's okay. Don't worry about it.
okay. Since I already gave you the tip,
Yep,
just
you did.
760. Okay.
All right, thank you.
You just put 1765 here.
Yeah.
Okay, 1765. There we go.
Thank you.
Yep. So that's pretty much it. Just trying this new walker modification to see if this is going to help the bags with the straps because they get so beat up. And do I take these sodas home? Not much left to take home, but yes, I usually do. So that's a little weight to the bag too. So that's all I want to say, guys. Just want to say thank you very much for watching this, and I'll see you guys around 7 o'clock tonight. Okay, bye bye.